As we all long celebrate International Women's Day, Concern for Women with Disability, Handicap International, and also SLUDI come together for all a conference for women with disability so that they go get to know the constraints them when they go through and how for come to their aid. Now we dey go inside the conference hall for go witness the program.
The different places like Potstopo, Kenema, Kaira, and go establish this program. And we don't really come for back in the yesterday. Now I want to call Ms. Anna Sise to come introduce the chairperson for this program.
Good morning, everybody, once more. I'm named Hannah Sise Adeya for introduce the chairperson of this program. The chairperson of this program now a woman, a dynamic woman, intelligent and able for care go the program before. Now the woman of concern waiting for the disabled women and children. Now no other person but Miss Yema Makasise. Let me put your hands together.
Hallelujah. How also? Not all man they come for. Hallelujah. Amen. Hallelujah. No one be enough can occupy the space and before baby.
We are executive director of Disability Awareness Action Group and also the board chair for the Sierra Leone Disability Issues. Mayor Santi Kabo, the president of the Sierra Leone Disability Issues.
My name is Kipia. I'm the country director for Handicap International.
Nina Hannah Sako, the service delivery manager and Planned Parenthood Association for Sierra Leone before PPSL, and I represent the executive director.
Nina Talker, program officer, my school. Stella is Smithy, at the head of social services, children and gender affairs. I represent our worship union of the Freetown municipality.
I was a Sakuma. I can represent the commission, National Commission for Persons with Disability Act. Hello. Well, we will the work for concern. Our lecturer will stand up just when we are there. Because the introduction will do at this time. Stand up, please. Okay, thank you. Now we will call on with Sister Miata for giving the statement. Hello, good morning. I have for giving statements on behalf of concern. Concern for the development of disabled women and children exists to support the tireless and courageous efforts of women's group who work every day to win the rights of women and girls, more especially women and girls with disability. Concern is working to ensure that women can own properties, one for offices, to vote and be voted for, get paid fair wages, and live free from violence. These violence include domestic violence, sexual assault, and harmful practices. Concern for the development of disabled women and children is commemorating the International Women's Day, IWD, 8th March 2020, with the theme, I am Generation Equality, realizing women's rights, with the local theme, break barriers and open doors to realize an inclusive society for all women in Sierra Leone. The International Women's Day is celebrated by organizing national advocacy forums for women in various provincial headquarters, towns and freetowns. But women with disabilities were hardly included to participate in such activities. As an organization committed for the welfare of women and girls with disability, this year International Women's Day 2020, activities / ceremonies will commence in the following 4 districts. These are Boloko, Kenema, Bono, and Karine. We are concerned for the development of disabled women and children will begin soonest. What are human rights? Women's human rights. Women's rights are the fundamental human rights that were enshrined by the United Nations for every human being on the planet nearly 70 years ago. These rights include rights to live free from violence, slavery, and discrimination, to be educated, to own properties, to vote, and to earn a fair and equal wage. As the now famous saying goes, women's rights are human rights. That is to say, women are entitled to all of these rights. Yet, almost everywhere around the world, women and girls are yet still denied them, often simply because of their gender. Winning rights for women is about more than giving opportunities to an individual, woman or girl. It is also about changing how countries and communities work. It involves the changing of laws and policies, winning hearts and minds, and investing in strong women's organizations and movements. Opportunities / entitlement. Namely, 1. The Disability Act. 2. The implementation of the Disability Act. 3. The Disability Commission. 4. Gender inequality. 5. Rights to Education, Part 5, Section 14. Rights to free medical, Part 5, Section 17. Provision of medical services, employment, Section 17. Political inclusion, social protection, and organizations working for women. Now the challenges. The Disability Act. The Disability Act is a challenge because it has nothing specific about women with disability. 2. The implementation of the Disability Act. Even the implementation of the Disability Act itself is a challenge because it has not been well popularized. The Disability Commission. Challenges. Inadequate funds to sustain their programs on disability issues, and also understaffed to perform the day-to-day running or activities of the Commission. Gender inequality. Women with disabilities have been discriminated in various ways. Such ways are good governance, political appointments, and employment. Even in the office of the President, though it's in the Disability Act. Education, learning difficulties, incentives to support their education, mobility or accessibility, inadequate learning materials, inadequate sign language interpreters, and the educational policy. Provision of free medical services. Challenges: lack of drugs, lack of trained and qualified medical practitioners in handling issues of women with disabilities, lack of trained and qualified sign language interpreters in handling women with hearing impairments in the medical profession. Employment. Employment is a challenge for women with disability, even when they are qualified. This is because employers focuses on not what a disabled woman can do, but rather what they cannot do. This has made employment for disabled women a big challenge. Organizations working for women. Every organization working for women hardly consider women with disabilities in their thematic areas. These areas are the Hands Off Our Girls campaign, the UN Women, 50-50 group, Pan Disability, and so on and so forth. Political inclusion. Women with disability are not given the opportunity to participate highly into politics, more especially when it comes to the awarding of symbols during national elections. Social protection. How? The police handle issues or deals with matters pertaining women with disability, but what have they put in place to protect these women? Sexual offensive acts. It is an opportunity under the social protection, but seriously challenged because it has got nothing specific in it to protect these women with disabilities when it comes to normal implementation. I thank you all for your attention and looking forward to your speedy response to make Sierra Leone a better place for all women in society. Thank you very much, Miata Moriba.
Now we clap for Miata. That is very well for me in the discussion. Now inside English is one, but also we all they understand English. So they call me Sister Anna Sandy for candle interpretation inside Creole.
Now we earn money. Not good money, but I think say disabled woman them today, even though March 8th don't pass, but we still inside March and are we there for celebrate, for commemorate ourselves, because Sierra Leone for sure we know they celebrate because woman issues still there behind. Not talking of women with disability. We still there na the back. And we sister just don't read for me the statement. And for short, I'm not going to go through everything, but I just want to go short for some of we were not able to get them clear. We say concern. Concern they work for ensure say woman there get rights to property. Woman they get rights for vote, especially women with disability. As well, when they work for CC, women with disability get right for take position, for sit down in office like any other woman, for take decision like any other woman. woman. When some of the things they were really they put we behind, we make they like today, we do also we do so. And woman with disability gets right for receive salary like any other woman in this country. As well, we get right for stay out of violence, not only because we disabled, make we for be victims all the time. Yes, other women are victims of violence, but when it comes to disabled women, we don't suffer in silence for too long. We don't suffer in silence for too long. Because when they offend you, or when they disadvantage by you, they remember who that go take me case. When you go, they say, they were in trouble, so that they walk down so. So that make concern the fight for say women with disability be inclusive in society. With ABN, it acts for C. And most offices, back in them disabled office, but most offices they consider we. Of course, they're not accessible for me. When you go, because of one reason or the other, they get different excuses the one that they give you, just for discourage you, for letting you know be part of them. Big organizations, them as well, when they work for women with disability, then they work for disabled people, not get disabled people when they work with them. When nothing again where they affect you seriously. Nothing for us without us. You're not gonna work for you, not involved with. When I be done the be, then they plan for we, they come. Now they say now wheelchair the way they want. They don't know the type of wheelchair. They just they come. And when they come, we tell you for use them by force. Where you know they now. When you want, consult we, call we, talk with we, meet with we, and work with we, so you go know how for serve we well, and how we go work together for so that we self will feel inclusive in our society. Concern, they celebrate the International Women's Day today na Freetown. Last week we be there up county in a different town. Then we go Kenema, from Kenema we go Kono, from Kono we go Kamakwie, Kayene district. From there we go Port Loko. It be so interesting. The turnout be so great and be so participating. We commemorate this day. For let we all sit down and think what thing really we need for do. For let we push women with disability go before. We invite beaucoup stakeholders there. We make beaucoup statements there, beaucoup commitment there. But we know say by the grace of God, we go work and push them so that they go able to adhere to waiting them they don't say. We call them people here today at the high table for let themselves can talk to we. Then they can't talk to me today on waiting they don't do for help women with disability. And waiting they plan for do so that women with disability issues can be inclusive in Sierra Leone. As I say, I'm not going to win everything there, but some of the opportunities them, I mean the thing that we get as women them and as women with disability where they fetch for me. Some of we there we know them, some don't get access to them, some don't ever know about them, not ever get access to them. I just go read them brief. We get the Disability Act, where passed inside 2011, where they fight for disabled people in a salon. We get then the implementation of this Disability Act. When I want big trouble, I believe say we representative from the commission there, instead of talk to me small. We're up to now the implementation according to the plan, according to when they pass the act. To me understanding, it will be 3 years that implementation and therefore don't take place. But up to now, we dey struggle with them. We get gender inequality. We're there for women, for work and fetch for women. But how many disabled women they know about that? How many disabled women they get the feeling? We get the right to education, where they part 5, section 14 of the Disability Act. That's again a big problem for we. Before now, that's not the reason we make you find out say disabled women them, especially the women them, boku no land, boku no go school. Because before now, we people as you don't become disabled, and they even count you. When they make decision at the family, when they count, when they include you, they say no, left hand there. They're not better. They're not useful again. How much more for put you school? And to you self, you the woman, you dey think afterward I go school. Who that go employ me? Who say I go work? What in education go do for me? That na before, not to now. So that make beaucoup disabled woman they not go to school. Then we get the right to free medical, where we still dey struggle with. In the part 5, section 17 again of the Disability Act. We get the provision of the free medical. The free medical dey for we, but then they provide them for we. We get right to employment. We self get right for sit down at office like any other woman. We self get the right. But how many disabled women then today employed? Even the government, how many disabled women them? The government, then our government offices them. They're not boko. We get political inclusion. We self get right for TINAP as councillor, member of parliament. Any other position, they get right for votes for we. But inside salon. No, you're not ready to wait. Of course, we will get them very soon by the grace of God. We still get right for TINAP for position, we get right for votes, and they get right for votes for we as well. But who side? And how it go happen? As they see, say this disabled, when you active self for politics, then they take and say, na for money no more, you depend. But for let them say for votes for you, not they ever happen. We get right to social protection, like any other human being, like any other woman in this country. Then we get organization the way they work for women there. How many there where they work for women with disability? How many women with disability they inside the organizations there? As member, how many? Or as workers, he asked for counts because you go look there, he asked for C. Again, the challenges there, all waiting I don't say so get challenges there. Then challenges there, the acting self, now a challenge to women with disability. Because enough person, no, I don't see, enough they say the way specifically they talk about disabled women there. So the acting self, we dey pray that by the grace of God, they will call and amend them soon. Of course, the implementation again, as I said, a challenge for we. We get the Disability Commission, where, of course, then they work, they want work, but the funding, always money no day. We don't go blame them too much, they say they try. But the government not just puts that kind of attention to disability issues in this country. When it comes to disability issues, we dey think back, behind side. Now the last resort, the last thing when they think about in this country, where we really need for pressure. And as we don't start them by the grace of God, we will continue for doing so that they will look into the issues and consider disabled and women with disability in this country. That is gender inequality. Women with disability have been discriminated in various ways. As we say, in governance, political appointment, I don't see the party. The man then better. Of course, we don't get man there where they TINAP, political party they appoint them for B. But how many women with disability? This education, as I said, the difficulties. Of course, we force the people and nobody allow disabled people to go to school. Not to talk of. Then it comes to, now that we agree for land, we agree for go school. We don't get the facilities then. We for assist we, for let we be part of the school system. For example, the visually impaired, they don't get the braille material, they don't get qualified teachers there. Sign language, how many sign language teachers are in this country? How many? When you done primary school, for let you get secondary school, it's not just easy because they're not there. They're not enough. Then we get the accessibility. Somebody with wheelchair, how for claim steps for going to classroom. We thank God for some organizations there where they help some primary school and for make that ramp. But when you talk of, look, example, IPAM. If somebody they use wheelchair, they go IPAM. Will they see the building them when they don't put now? FBC, will they see the building there? All that na barrier to win. people with disability, women with disability for access education. Then the free medical service. We get the free medical service. When you go, now better, when you go connect, you go for form, they go look you. But after they don't sound you, they say medicine or they not free medical. Because you don't go for treatment, the thing will for make your body well. No day. How you go get the money for buy the medicine? Then lack of trained and qualified practitioners there. Of course, somebody like the deaf person hearing impaired, no go to hospital, they explain to nurse how they feel. How you expect to let that nurse know how that person they feel. How he go able for treat them, give them the right treatment where he want. So all them here, as I say, now challenges them where we they face, especially women with disability. Because I will say so because we frequent now hospital more. We they go born. We they care we picking they go to hospital. It's not easy for women with disability. The challenge is them beaucoup. If we say we they read all, we know what come out today. So because of that, for short, these are some of the challenges them where we they face now society. And we they can do a short video, short presentation, documentary for let una see, let we all see some of the things them where women in the face na society in terms of sexual harassment. I just want let we look small, let we patient small as we can do set. So we can set the projector. So una self, after that, una self will tell me how we for work together for here be history.
My stops no say Sierra Leone regarding various forms of sexual violence, where include domestic violence, sexual assault, rape, and rape of minors, marital rape, and school-related sexual abuse, as we see in the documentary we just released now. And my source also recognized, say, 52% of the total population of Sierra Leone are women. And the women, they occupy less than 20% of the elect positions in this country. Empowerment, in terms of gender equality and women's empowerment in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, is the central to achievement for all the 17 SDGs, in particular SDGs, to achieve the gender equality and empowerment of all girls and women. So in line with this, my sub-theme and fits where we theme now, children by choice, not chance. Where me say, get to pick the time where you want them. So, in line with this, we decide for partner with SLUDI, when are the umbrella body for the disabled organization in Sierra Leone, for reach out to various networks of disabled people then, which is services. My scopes are a family planning delivery services. We give family planning to young, vulnerable, disabled, and able young women of reproductive age. We deem and fit for get an MOU with SLUDI so that we'll be able to reach out to these young, disabled women then, with services of family planning in the vein of empowering these women. As we see in the documentary, we see a lot of sexual violence being done, perpetrated amongst these young people with disability. So, in the intervention as my stops and what we know best how to do, now for reach out with services to these young people then. And so in line with that, we did work with Leone and London. And because of that, the Leone manager will come at Sierra Leone, and we hold a consultative meeting through SLUDI with a network of people living with disability, for dialogue with them, for engage with them, for know exactly wetin are the thing wey dem dey go through in terms of family planning. And so we also decide for reach out with services, free family planning services to these young disabled women then, through a network of service delivery channel. When we centers them, we will get 9, we dey offer free family planning services during promotion period, and then 9 centers there, and we outreaches them 14 all over the district. We dey reach out with services to them. How we decide for work with them? We get a structure of coordinate women, networks of women living with disability, where they serve as referral agents for we. They work in collaboration with the outreach nurses then. So then nurses they can mobilize clients for we, and then we can link them with outreach nurses then for go out and give services to the young people there. So this we they do, and we continue, and we pledge the support for continue for do more, because we find out say one of the pillars of empowerment of women and for make them get family size where they were able for take care of. So with this, we want to say thank you, and we continue for pledge the support as our schools.
The mama now go can talk to me now. When I'm president for the Sierra Leone Union on disability issue. And I know we put us together as the country.
Attention to concern, you don't forget short initiatives. It's really good for us as persons with disability. And I really want to use this opportunity there. We give a very big hand to one of the greatest donors in a Handicap International. Then we give it a very big hand. You know, I really want to start there. We see we bother here. To be sincere enough, for the past 3-4 years, we have been seeing HIS not a leading entity for issues of persons with disability. But I will say this, right from last year to now, we've seen a great difference in the intervention of Handicap International. We hope we will continue and see what we could do, a tangible work towards persons with disability issues. DPOs, disabled people organizations, are looking forward to you. Whatever thing that might happen, we might go to any donor, whatever organizations, but most times when we reach to these organizations, what they will say, where is Handicap International? Are they not helping you? Are they not reaching out to you? And so if we are not seeing the feasibility of HI, then we have to raise the question. And I would say the current management, right from Marie-Cecile's tenure to now, I think we'll see a great improvement. So I crave your indulgence to send our message to the management that we appreciate and we want to see more of HI, not only to SLUDI but also to other DPOs. So we know exactly that you're with us and we work together. To we the persons with disability, I'm sure we will see them good things there now, but especially to women with disability. Are you ready to grab the opportunities coming? Because that's $1 million question. People or partners want for work with you now. But all one thing I can say at times, the women with disability are always at the end. They're not ready for come up, they're not ready for show up. So what are we going to do for make sure say we are visibly seen? When you go to the disabled community and say for less something happen, most times I just demand that they come on at all. Because una the women they are always they feel shy, una not just want for empower on ourselves, no una just left for the dependent. So if concern really they do this, I really want to create the indulgence of concern. Sometimes we don't talk a lot. What are the actions to be taken? So I want to make, before we come away absent, some of you know go there and take down. Waiting at the tangible steps and strategies. Wait for make sure say women with disability, their lives be improved. That makes it extraordinary in our meeting. We don't say who they talk to ourselves. One thing we don't happen now, first and as well, we self we talk to no more. But now we see when we invite stakeholders and now we see like a conclusion. We don't so many meetings at times, I just to ourselves we talk. But when I see the piles of stakeholders and at the high table, don't you see there is a difference now. So if difference only happen to society, don't they accept we? What thing we for do now to we say? They say any right to get responsibility. No, so any right to get responsibility. So waiting our own responsibility for make them people that we don't begin they come for give we money, they can hear we. Waiting our responsibility for make we do one and more. Waiting our responsibility for give we more confidence, for continue for work with we. Waiting our own responsibility for make sure say that dependency see what we get, we divert from that to the positive one. Where we self-believe say, yes, we've done this and that. I think this is something for me where I would like to see towards the women with disability. We really did the end. You get so many things to do for make yourself important in a society, for make yourself important. Now, you home where you did. Thereby, you self get contribution for do na your home, you self get contribution for do na your office, you get contribution for do to society at national level. So let we begin think of the way how we for just sit down and say no, whether they can give it, or let we tell and just call me. So I really want for give a very big kudos. Let we put your hand for the executive director, Madam Leone Makasise. You know, she's very instrumental. You know, I mean, they'll say sometimes when we just open our organizations up for just for ourselves. But one thing I don't really see concern you do, I think, say, now, when use yourself with together, we get prolific organizations of youth, civil society, everything. But let we see women themselves, they take this challenge back like waiting concern they do to this great woman. They inspire some of we for saying we get confidence in the women. We self as disabled women, sometimes we remember say we really get disabled women they competent enough to take certain challenge. So how would I go for change these things? Me for me, I mean, really clear on quality or anyone for talk to women with disability. As we see we say, you are fantastic, you gorgeous, you good looking, and you have the ability to do it. So seize the opportunity where they come now we don't have waiting city council and by stops the way we don't say more they will people here for talk. Waiting they do towards disabled persons and to be specific the most vulnerable by society. The most and the highest vulnerable person by society is women with disability. We know how it takes for learning it now. But it's a challenge. A challenge it takes for make we reach there. So I want for just say, he said, I know you know on disability issue is open to you where you say you want to do something, especially women with disability. The doors are open. We are ready to work with whatsoever organization, and with the push. Most of them say the MOU will get with my so not for no man. Not for no man. Last week, I think this was the day before yesterday. I was just thinking, how much woman? Now my stops want 60 women in Bogudu is survey. We see them, they see how much women they won't go call for can do this survey because the criteria is you have to be educated before you forgive the right. So it takes me days for when we get just 40 women at Sonia because the other 20 now Moyamba, 30 in another percent they wait. Just 40 women for over and woman. The woman they will later we will be capable for go do that survey. Because me and all extent somebody when it tell me then I go shame. They say Prezo, that woman the way he said I don't know for do that, you know. And so rubbish they do for you. Next time they don't depend on you give the opportunity again for them. So and they look at critically without no say competent enough. Na them I go say nothing. And up till now I'm not sure. Anna, because she's the liaison. I know if you feel say the list will not complete it. Because we don't just feel say women are not the push for land book for seek their livelihood. So let we try as best as possible. Come at the office, let we come and discuss. There are opportunities for learning land book for free. It's free. Free education. So let we use the opportunity. Some of we don't take the challenge. I can always say, now I'm a mentorist. How will they say the land book, now say me at the day you. They doing double master, now say this as I don't like for we do the double work. So with the challenge we say, with the man, with the challenge we say anything where this possible, we say for one. Anybody who have this select book, I know it's your own. Not only once say book, you know, say pass formal education, you look at it, the informal education. You dey learn something for them you go for do something. That you guarantee, that you hold, that you be addressing. We dey learn. They dey earn you money. The video when they show, not to say that just for that you. Would rather working for victim for that night husband that you will say no, you do that you just have a man. So that next it doesn't come and meet with you. They don't be forget but you will give better, you don't know about you. Because you are able to say that info feed you, not info buy clothes for you, not info make you here. But if you take the challenge, say no, me self for who say, me self for land, this thing for land get something. Me self for land book for land, I will forget me masters or me degree. Then you are there. Then so when we challenge now the government, I just take it out they say, we are not included in governance. Two of us, we are not included in governance. Completely far each. What did happen the last time? We get a deputy now, we don't get nobody. Absolutely. The call they say because we must see competent disabled people. And me they tell them say we get past 1,000 people with disability will get their masters and get them degree and get them now doctorate holders there. Then they come and the office, we will give them some of those data. But again, if we not show we competency how, they will not know. So when you go in forums, you go in programs, say these things that you are capable of doing this and this. Some of the things that we they do, what they talk, say for you they see. So us I can challenge some ministers and say for they give appointments, more they do. We're not they cry them down. We are same way competent just like them and even more than them. Because we believe in this area. How can you do as women with disability for them that reach to 50-50? Women's forum. Go and join this forum and see how you will sell your ability to them. They can call you and say, you self can hold this position. But if you just sit and just feel say, possible for just do everything for you, you continue to be at the back. So I want just one for talk to you all as the head of the disability in terms of the civil society area that we get key things that we will do for we say for them to change the narrative. And then we say be able to get the zeal, the confidence for do more advocacy so we could change our lives of freedom for disability. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. So my talk will be very informal, I should say, because sometimes, the giving a speech from the script can be a barrier to touch our heart and mind. So let's talk informally. And I personally have nothing to add actually what has been said here. I see a wealth of knowledge in this room, and who knows actually better about the struggle for persons with disabilities better than you. I don't have that experience, but you have the experience, and you struggle for your whole life. So you have the knowledge actually. I learned many things today from here. I've taken some notes, so I will just reflect on some of my notes. We know the problem. It is very clear that all of us are very aware of the problem here. And we also know what needs to be done. For example, you are very much aware about the coronavirus outbreak, right? So for this kind of problem, sometimes we are confused. What needs to be done? because we don't know many things. But when it comes to the rights of persons with disabilities, we all know what needs to be done. So it's very clear. The next thing is, many of the suggestions actually came out from this group. I want to reflect on a couple of suggestions. One is, how do we act to uphold the rights of persons with disabilities? We really need to act collectively. As Handicap International, we are unable to act unless we partner with local organizations, we partner with government, we partner with civil society, we partner with the people who are struggling. So we need a strong partnership, and we need to act collectively. Alone, we will not be able to achieve what we want to achieve. So let's work collectively. The second point is, sometimes it's easy to blame the government. Government is not doing this, government is not doing that, right? The administration is not doing enough. Yes, you have a legitimate point, but what I like to emphasize from my experience from other countries, that you need to take local initiative. You need to act at your personal level, your family level, community level, at district level, and then at national level. So the government needs support from the people. And you could be the best advocate for your problem. So no one is going to talk about you unless you talk about yourself. So this is what I want to request all of you, that be the best advocate for your problem. Take initiative at local level. I had experience of visiting one school in Port Rock. Sierra Leone, this is my 4th week, I'm new here. So I'm still learning actually about Sierra Leone. I need to learn the language also. But I had a chance to visit one of the schools in Port Rock. And I saw there is no ramp for the kids who has physical impairment, that they can come. And the school was waiting for support, either from the government or from international NGOs or national NGOs. So I spoke to the principal. I said, look, to create a ramp here, you don't need external support. You have carpenter in your community. You have wood that you are making house. Call the community. Come together. Let's make the ramp today. It's possible. Small change we can bring. So this local initiative is very important. We need to be active at local level, in our village, in our district. Yeah, because there are planning happen at district level. If I am correct, right? District council develop planning for districts. So those who are the advocate of persons with disability, you need to get involved in that planning process. You need to actively go and participate in that planning process and talk about the rights of persons with disabilities. It's very important. So this is what I want to emphasize, the local initiative, taking the local initiative and being the strong advocate for your rights. The third thing that I also want to emphasize, that this program is organized for Women's Day, International Women's Day, right? And often we forget that the Women's Day actually should not be a particular day in a year. It should be every day. The reason why I say this, because as a person, as a human being, I always say that I wouldn't exist as a human being without a woman. And that is my mother. So my day, Women's Day, is every day. Because every day I remember my mom. Okay? Second thing is, I wouldn't exist as a country director of HI today without the support of a woman. And that is my wife. So my Women's Day is every day. The third point is, I couldn't dream anything to do in my life without the support of my 2 kids. And fortunately, I am very fortunate father that I have 2 daughters. So all these women actually shaped me as a human being. So I want to encourage you that celebrate Women's Day every day. Without women, we cannot think about ourselves. So let's keep it in mind. Okay? We need to change the mindset. Yeah? And this is how we can promote the gender equality in Sierra Leone. And then lastly, what I want to emphasize also, that Handicap International is strongly committed for upholding the rights of persons with disabilities, for fight against gender inequality and any form of violence against women. But we do have our limitations because we are funded by different countries. So you have to understand that. Sometimes we want to do many things, but we cannot do because of funding restriction. And on top of that, we have another problem now globally. We have this coronavirus outbreak. And I can tell you, this coronavirus outbreak will pull the funding from all the developing countries significantly next year. So we really need to mentally prepare for this. The local organizations and the DPUs and the government also. That how can we tackle this situation? How can we tackle this challenge? That's why partnership is the key. We need to come together and partner and prioritize our resources where we can find the most effective impact when you invest our resources. So let's work together. And I believe that if we work together, we can address this challenge. So by saying that, I like to conclude my speech. I apologize that I will not be able to stay with you for a whole day, but I truly enjoyed being here. And I learned a lot from all of you. All credit goes to you. It's a big hand for all of you. Thank you.
Good morning to you and welcome to this interview. You go please tell your name and your occupation.
Yeah, Mina Santigi Kagbo, the President for the Sierra Leone Union on Disability Issues Lude.
Being the president, how has it been for you?
Well, to be frankly enough, it's tough. It's really challenging when it comes to the development of persons with disability holistically. And you already know, say, society as a whole, they marginalize and discriminate persons with disability, and women with disability, they are double marginalized and discriminated. And when you look at even the governance issue, things are happening but not as expected as persons with disability. So in a nutshell, we will say it's challenging and difficult for us.
Speaking of challenges, what has been your own challenges?
Well, in we own way, it varies a lot. Looking at the various spectrum of society. In terms of health, you look at, say, persons with disability, the act has been enacted, and when it comes to implementation, it's very tough. We will say not even 20% of the Persons with Disability Act not been implemented yet. And then you also looked at the educational aspect. When we looked at the free quality education, it is happening at, we'll say, the tertiary stage, but when you come down, in terms of accessibility, in terms of material, so provisions are not much catered for persons with disability, ranging from when you look at the categories of disability, say the hearing impaired, what they call the deaf, the visually impaired, and not inclusive. The educational system not be inclusive. So now we try for see how we try for let them enact the Inclusive Educational Act policy. So then they go make the curriculum be inclusive in terms of accessibility, in terms of the colleges how they go there. And you also look at them in terms of employment for persons with disability. While from the government coming down, not they see that inclusion much in terms of giving employment to persons with disability. We see what may happen for us with inclusion in governance. We may expect much, and so we really want to see outside this current dispensation. Really, they see how they go get one or two persons where they go give some appointment. So because for we in any way they do, if even and do the social protection, which is very good for us, we are one of the key thing where we will give very kudos to this current dispensation, because we the work with NACSA now. We don't go na field do training for see how a safety net will be given to the most vulnerable people that don't include persons with disability in their household. But for we always they say, nothing about us without us. Who feels it knows it. If they do anything, we want to be involved in it. And not only in them, just at those programming, but where do they take decisions? Well, how can we be part of the ministerial positions? How can we be part of then a cabinet for the take decisions with His Excellency the President? How we go get somebody in a state house where go they talk for we? So it's easy for reach His Excellency the President. Now, if we want to see the President, it's very difficult. So when I want call where we really want for call His Excellency the President coming down say we really need a disability advisor at the highest offices, at the highest office, when at the first gentleman office, when at State House. Therein we know say issues will be really be dealt with and in an inclusive manner. Things are happening, but it's not that inclusive just because we are not there. The policy at policy level, it is not there. We know what's in the manifesto say for this current government. It's very good, it's very rich. For its first time we see a current sitting government get so much issues for talk on disability issues. One key thing that they also the national medium-term development goal. It not ever happen. You understand? For the first time, the development plan of a nation for this country, disability issue gets a whole sector where they call pillar 5, where they talk about gender, where they talk about women and persons with disability. So it means they have us at heart. But how can they achieve this? It's when they involve us for make we all take decisions together.
Speaking of involving UNA in taking decisions, because you say nothing without UNA, where UNA not present today. But then people can likely say the way how somebody go support you, the way you decide for support yourself and the people the way you stand for. And most of the times we see say yes, people can come out there when are disabled and try for get positions, but then UNA can able for support them people there.
Of course, yes, we're doing so much on that because we believe in empowerment. If you're not empowered, you're asking for involvement, then it's nothing. So for we, it's really ridiculous for people to say we not get educated people. I can tell you, say we get a data where we get over 200, 300, 400 people and we are graduates, where they get not even diploma, but now undergraduates them with a degree, masters, and even doctorate level. So the issue of say the people or the human resource are not there who are persons with disability. It's completely wrong. It's ridiculous. We want to make them come to the office, to Sierra Leone Disability Office. We go show them the data, show them competent people where they go waiting. Like waiting we they do so in this program. Now for empower women, let them know their rights. And we get so much of them inside us, so we are educated, where they can able for take any leadership role. You can agree with me, say they can say women issues. You understand? But when they give opportunity to women, are they involving women with disability? That's completely no. All the women then they look and say, now just we the able people and now we are elite, now we not get disabled women, they we competent, so they take on to the men there, which is completely wrong. You understand? So one for really change the narrative. That's why concerned they do the kind of poem so for learn and show say yes, there are women who get the ability, there are women away for no say yes, this now your rights, this now your opportunities, the way you get grab this opportunity, use them, and then at the end of the day you go able for see what you go able for get at the end. And we also they look at also waiting we want for see this new Ministry of Social Welfare. It was good. We're happy. We tell the president very, very, very plenty thank you that you're able to separate the ministry from the Minister of Social Welfare and also get the Minister of Gender. So if we would expect say the Minister of Social Welfare get different components where one key now the women, now the disabled persons and now the social welfare. What's the ministry go do this time around for see disabled people their lives being improved, disabled people and their life being developed, then be empowered. So we want to see that difference there. So with even the call on the minister now, the Minister of Social Welfare when I've been do Gasama honorable for see waiting you go able for push for see the tangible investment where you go put into persons with disability. We are not seeing much. We expect much for see because we don't see a division of this, and we know say the president do because he want for see tangible things happening to persons with disability, and also to the women's sector. How we go call on other big women organizations? Then they have been doing something we're very great, but are you involving women with disability? If you're not, then it means your program is not inclusive. You are not achieving. The SDG, you not go achieve the SDG because it says leave no one behind. And because you leave any person behind, it means poverty no go down. Education, waiting as if for achieve, no go be achieved. Health for everybody no go be achieved. So now unless you bring persons with disability, and WHO they say 15% of every population are persons with disability. Looking at we own contents, which is 1.3, for we contend them so much that we need a proper survey where for looked into persons with disability to be specific. Because ironical for say the one we made in 2003 was about 5% or so. Then 2015 or so it came down to 1.3%. It's ridiculous. So we really want to see what the government could do tangible. You underestimate persons with disability, you cannot plan for them well. Because if you say now 100 disabled, the way you go for go do something for them, you see 200 disabled, how can you manage the other 100? So for we, it is not proper for us. So we they call on also the donors like World Bank, the UNDP, the IMF, and everybody, let them come and see really we get a proper survey on persons with disability.
Speaking of leaving someone behind, on Unayon part, well, as you rightly mentioned that the population, like, it disables them very plenty. But then, how are they able to reach out to the ones, especially in the provinces? This is it just centralized in Freetown?
No. As you hear, like within this organization they do, we they work with them. They just don't come on Akono, Kenema, Karine, and also Potloko. So again, the union, the Sano Union on Disability should get the structures of national face. We get district executive in all the districts, and we get the national headquarters, we meet the head. So we get these structures across the whole district now at chiefdom level. We get DPOs, disabled people organizations, so we register with the union. We get over 160 to 180 DPOs, disabled organizations, we register under the union. So it means we are reaching out to them. They do the advocacy. And what we are expecting is for call on donors and governments for see what they can do to support these individuals, to support these people. We are not having any fund from government, so only rely on donors. So again, what thing government can do now for one, for see how they go increase the subvention where they give to the National Commission for Persons with Disability. Also, see how they can able for support the union, just like how they support SLAG, they support trade unions there. So you support those institutions when at national level. The commission at national level, the union at national level. So it means we go able to reach out to the people because now we know them, now we know who side and they. But if you just take the thing and just centralize it at government level, then you cannot get it all because they cannot reach to everybody. But we as the union, looking at us at the ward level, at chiefdom level, at constituency level, and everywhere, then we know how we constituency they, we know what they affect them, we know their challenges, we know what they want. You know, just grab and just give possibility you want. It's not to than you want. You can see me if you say, na culture one, it's not to culture one that moment. I want for make you find employment for me, like you give me with me say we're able for sustain. So these are the things where we they really call on government what they can do for these two basic institutions for make themselves able for reach to the company down there. There are so many of them. You understand? So we not just centralized Freetown, we get structures and I think say we they try for reach to them all.
Okay. But then reaching to them and knowing what they want. Not so everybody go school and then become a doctor or lawyer, but then there are some institutions where you go learn trade, you go learn tailoring, you go learn catering. How una can able see that? Then one day we not go able for like get the main education, can able go into the institutions there.
It's all about education. When you talk about education, you talk about formal education, you talk about informal education. And we know say disabled community majority are illiterate. So if you really want to empower persons with disability, you even concentrate more on the informal sector than the formal sector. Now only few of able for go college get with degree, get with masters there. So what are we doing for them? That is why, like waiting the NACSA they do. The NACSA program they get 3 phases. Now that they target the household where any outside disabled person they for support the household. Waiting we ask them also is what can they do for livelihood, for give support to disabled, in which is already don't get a compromise with them. So the first of that, where they work with World Bank, and for see how you will want for land work, send you outside the land work, give you support till you land the work, and where you don't and give you startup kits. You where you feel say in a business you want to do, give you a startup money for do your business, link you with banks so I'd say maybe if you see yours you go able to get loan. So these are the way we do for the livelihood aspects of persons with disability. But again, the government gets the thing in terms of when you look at them things, it's about continuity.
What can they do for continuity? Can government say, let we get a multi-purpose center, like how they do for the youth? Get the youth farm, get the this. What can you do for get a multi-purpose building for persons with disability? Send them there, let them learn something. You understand? They give person fish. Learn how for fish. So this is what we're asking the government. It's a huge tax. One thing we person for live a disability life is very expensive. You can take a transport here to PZ just for 2,000. For me, since I get me guide, where they help me, I will pay transport for her. Since I get me wheelchair, and if I pay for them, wheelchair for put another boot. So it's very expensive. So to live a disability life is very expensive. So this is what the government should know. Donors and other partners will know, say, it's hard, it's tough for us, it's difficult for us, we're just only managing. So for let you put you in that state, it means more resources has to be allocated. And then it's what you do. If it doesn't plan for us, get that quota, where you go say, like for example, when they see the government, they do budgets. What are they doing for get an inclusive budget now, all ministries? For say, okay, Minister of Education, can we get a disability desk? This is what the Persons with Disability Act is. Section 39, they tell we say, forget a disability unit now, all MDAs. So let's say if these MDAs are being established, you allocate resources for this ministry. So if I want to health now, I want me free medical, there I get the desk where they go to. I go to education at this. You understand? I go to agriculture, we get a desk. We go to labor, we get a desk for employment. So you don't make disabled people their lives easier because you don't do an inclusive budgeting. This is what the international community they do. Some of we don't travel, go on one or two sides. It makes it easier. We get what we call reasonable accommodation. Reasonable accommodation means you know cater for this person, but you don't see the need for make this thing be inclusive. What can you do? If this place not accessible, now what can you do for put ramp now so somebody don't have go for car? So this is what we are expecting. But if they are not working with us, they might think they are doing something for us, but they are not. And this is exactly what is affecting us. Now make what they say, can they involve us in their planning? In terms of taking decision, let's talk to the president, let's talk to the ministers and see that this we want and this we want. And I'm telling you, trust me, something good could be happen for persons with disability.
So what are the message they send out to the president, the ministers, ministries of social welfare and gender, and also to family out there?
Well, my key message I want to say is, like they say, don't plan for us. Don't take decisions for us. Don't work for us assuming you're doing something for us. Let's plan together. When I say when you do something, you involve the person from the stage of planning. Then we all implement together, we all monitor together, we all evaluate together. Then tell the person, say, wait I do, not for you. Because you plan with them, we all implement together, we all go monitor together. So all what we are saying, right from His Excellency the President, to the Vice, to the Ministry, to donors, what we wanted for us to be satisfied is involve us from the right first step in taking anything for us to the evaluation stage.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good day to you and welcome to this interview. You go tell me your name and your occupation.
My name is Matayima Sise. I'm the Director of Concern for the Development of Disabled Women and Children.
Okay, Director of Concern for Disabled Women. How has it been like for you?
Come again?
How has it been like for you, being the Director for Concern for Disabled Women?
Well, it's not easy anyway, because for get a disabled woman then for make a program, it's not easy. There is a lot of challenges for the face.
Okay, but then I see we get an idea today, and why una connect with International Women's Day?
Well, we want to let the world know, say disabled woman then, whether they say disability is not inability, we want to let disabled woman then come on board, let people they know, say we the disabled woman, they're capable of doing something where able people that they do.
Speaking of challenges, what are some of them challenges there as disabled woman they won't don't they face?
Well, we get so many challenges them. One, we not get medical facility, job facility. Sometimes we don't educate. You want to go work, then go tell you say step. Then they are you not go able to claim. You not go able, you sick back home. You go hospital. Then go begin discriminate you. Come on, you know it's sorry for yourself. You didn't disabled. You don't go get belly. So there are the challenges them boku. They discriminate you a lot.
Okay. But then, how una can able for reach out to una company woman them and see that themselves come on board?
Well, the only working come see to complement except sensitization. We call on NGOs for let themselves they see what they do, because some of the disabled they don't learn skills but they not get outside they do am. But if we call on people, then for can see wetin they do, maybe them go come on we aid help for space or go help for showcase with things they will get, because some of who get talents there, but we will not get support. I will go show with talent to people there.
Okay. Speaking of talent and skills, we all know say there is formal education and there is informal education. Probably somebody go like school and become a doctor or nurse, but then there are things that you can do for like upkeep yourself. How not able for tap them talents there, and how not able for identify somebody who get talent, because now only when you show them out somebody gonna know say you get her.
Well, most of them we don't do skill training, garata either in soap making, other thing there. So it was waiting at the challenge now. Some man not get the material, you not get machine, go don't go learn, you not get startup kits. So now the challenges and then the way we get for now.
In the next 5 years to come, how una feel una able for engage disabled women them so that una all go come together and push things go before?
Well, as I be they say, just sensitization, we call on ourselves, then we go they ask question, you wait you learn. So then some man go say I do tailoring, then they go say I do hairdressing, then we come together. Some go do like then we won't cap some of we able for do and perfectly, some of we able for so now then kind thing and they.
When you look at the streets of Freetown and you get to realize say disabled them where they strain the most na the streets na woman them, because them very vulnerable. How not being able for reach out to the woman and they not forgetting them.
Well, we try we best, although it's not easy, because we now vulnerable something they do. Not they pay them, we self they pay we. Well, we can call on them, they go cancel and say 1 or 2 10. If the system will not give them, they know they concentrate, they go back them. Prefer them go na street and say because na they get. And what will not get for no go say come by force. And disabled, where you dey deal with her, you get for now they deal with her. And because them go tell you say I not get wetin I dey eat, so where you can hold me out 1 whole day, I not get wetin I dey eat. So now that they look up to funds.
Concerning the fact that una get for need for provide for them, what is the message where you go send to the government and also to them disabled people and they where themselves they expect from una?
Well, would they beg the government, let them not left behind. Let them consider we the disabled woman them. Let them know say we self na mortal man. Although some man we born disabled picky say na devil. We not to devil, we na mortal man like them. We na flesh and bone. Do ya with the beg, let them come now we aid. Let them can rescue we from this bad condition we get. Because when they see we na street, some man they say, hey, this is not able to do this, is not able to do, but we can't try we. We not try with them, we go see what thing disabled woman themselves can do.
So that's the message where they send to them disabled women and they when they agree for come on board.
Well, I still encourage them, and then they continue for they do something, because you not go put money first for anything. Where you don't be educated, you don't do what they do, you get to your certificate. I believe so that certificate and your knowledge they give you money. Now that's how they tell them.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you too.
When I say don't hear the keynote address will come up from the person when are the representative for Handicap International, also for the president, where in the govern all the disabled them na salon. And I don't listen to a few disabled people them, but the things them where they need as disabled, the challenges them where they don't face, and how they want make government can to their assistance. When we bring the program can to you today, my name is Nakona Sise. Till we meet again, I say tata.